I felt like that transition was way faster than it meant to be, but we're back. Hey, it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't even know.
Forever.
Seems like forever. We made it to 12, and then we're like, hey, we're gonna stop again.
I was scared.
Mission accomplished.
But we're back. We family emergency followed by me coming back from family emergency on my side and immediately getting COVID. So if you see me mute my mic a lot and coughing off the screen, that's what's going on. I think AJ had a bad week at work a couple weeks ago, so it was just a whole clusterfuck of, hey, fuck it, we're gonna take a break. So, but yeah, how you guys doing?
Oh man.
Doing good, dog.
So much shit happened.
We have so much stuff to talk about. So I have two things before we get into anything else. Obviously, last night was a massive night on Dynamite, big night. But there are two things that we got to cover because we never had our post-Rumble episode. I don't think we had our pre-Rumble episode. Did we? I don't think
we did
not. No. Yeah, because that was the week that we had that I had to leave and go to Nashville for my family emergency. So we didn't have a pre-Rumble. But here's our post-Rumble. So I do have two things that I need to bring up from the Royal Rumble. Do we want to do picks first? Talk about our picks results first?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's go ahead and do our picks results first. Okay, for those that don't know, we used Pro Wrestling scorecards for Royal Rumble because it's the best time to use it for Royal Rumble is one of the best times that they have it. And basically how it lays out is like it's just a big sheet, and it's on Pro Wrestling scorecards, their website, all their social medias. But basically, it lays each match out, and you get I believe it's 5 points for predicting the winner of the match correct, and then there's a certain number of bonus things that are each 3 points each. Some are worth 5. So, for example, the first match that we have on here was the mixed tag match with Edge and Beth Phoenix. Pick the winner, then you pick the fall type, who makes the fall, who takes the fall, interrupted pin attempts, over under for that, if it's over and under 1.5, for example. Cross-gender moves executed, yes or no. It's just things like that for each match. How long is the match? Most near falls. For the Becky Lynch match, will the first disarmer win the match? Things like that. Then you get down to the Royal Rumble, and you pick the winner. Wrestler with the shortest match time, longest, most eliminations, last eliminated. And then various other things. Then you get a box at the bottom that's for unscheduled appearances. You get 3 points each. Total of 200 points. Okay, so that part was we knew how that worked. That part was for the audience. So for us, 200 points each. That was the final score of the total amount of points that you can get is 200 points each. Are you guys ready to see how fucking awful we all did? Okay, coming in. Last place, not surprised, because he doesn't watch the product as much as the rest of us have started watching again. He's obviously not here on the show, but we still include him in everything. Adam had 70 out of the 200 points. His biggest one that he had was he got 11 points from Edge and Beth Phoenix out of the 20. Actually, no, he had 12 out of 20 for Brock and Bobby Lashley. Only had 9 out of 27 for Roman versus Seth, and he had 18 out of 42 for the Women's Rumble, and that was basically it. He got no unscheduled appearances right at all. For his list of people that he put down, he got none. Okay, so that's where we're at. Coming in next to last is Dustin. Dustin's rocking a solid 77 points.
Oh shit!
His only unscheduled appearance he got right was Ronda Rousey. He got 14 out of 20 on Edge and Beth Phoenix. 16 out of 27 on Roman and Seth. Also, I think almost all of us here had the same thing happen, where it was Seth beats Roman, Roman enters the Rumble, Roman wins the Rumble. I think almost all four of us had that. And it was the exact scenario, just different. With different people.
So, exact same thing happened, but the opposite.
Exactly. So we were right, but we were wrong at the same time. So.
Right.
So yeah, Dustin coming in 4th place at 77 points. Okay. Coming in 3rd place, unfortunately, Losing my title at 78 points was me at third place.
Damn.
I had 14 out of 19 on Becky Lynch versus Doudrop. I had 14 out of 27 on Roman versus Seth. Only unscheduled appearance I got right was Shane McMahon. Okay. And I scored 12 points on both Rumbles out of 42. So I finished the whole Rumble thing with 78 out of 200 points. Now, here's where things get interesting. You would think with 4 match winners, two more if you count the Royal Rumble winners, and then 4 to 5 to even 6 options to add points here and there, plus all this crap that you add to the Rumble, you wouldn't think we'd get a tie. But we did. At 90 points each. Joey and AJ
and Lex Luger.
Joey and AJ tie literally with 90 points each. I did the math twice because I wanted to make sure. So AJ got 22 points because I believe he might be the only person. I don't know if he's the only person that picked Ronda to win. I'm not looking back through it. So yeah, AJ did pick Ronda to win. Did you pick Ronda to win? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so you might have. So AJ got no special guest appearances right. He almost cleaned house on Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. He got 15 out of 20. The only thing he missed there was that he picked
The actual winner. Yeah.
the actual winner. All the bonus you got right, you missed the actual winner. Yeah. So, yeah, and then like I said, you got 22 out of 42 for the Women's Rumble. And then looking at Joey's sheet, he got 2 unscheduled appearances right with Ronda Rousey and Molly Holly. He did pick Ronda to win. Joey had 17 out of 20 on Edge and Beth Phoenix. The only thing you missed was the interrupted pin attempts. You took the over of 1.5. It was the under. That was the only thing that kept you from getting a perfect score. On that particular match, at least. So, I guess for the time being, we have co-champions. For what we thought wouldn't be.
I'm the first ever 2-time champ, right?
OT rules, overtime rules. Let's go.
So that I thought I did the math for that, and I thought that I was like, we go through so much shit to make sure we don't tie. Oh, we don't even think about a tie on these fucking pro wrestling scorecard sheets, and we get a fucking tie. And the thing is, it's not even just a tie for just a random spot. No, it's a tie for the win. So yeah. It's hilarious. So, luckily, next week we will be doing Elimination Chamber picks. So, we'll figure out what we're doing then. If we're going to do picks. If we're going to do, I don't know if we'll do Pro Wrestling Scorecard again. That's up to you guys. But, yeah. So, as of right now, I guess we have co-champion. I should probably fix that on the screen. I'll do it in a second.
I have the real champion thing on mine. If he has the internal champion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, whichever. I'm throwing the
never
rule.
won it before.
I'm throwing the rule out there now. If either of you win at Elimination Chamber, you're not wearing 2 belts, two of the exact same belt every single week like Sammy Guevara does. Okay, fucking stop it. Okay.
We have the real Pigs champion.
And then, so like I said, and then I had a second thing that from the Royal Rumble, because I know we've already talked about collectively. We've talked about the Rumble between us, just private chats and everything. There's one thing that I haven't talked about from the Rumble that I really enjoyed. There's one thing that I really enjoyed from the Rumble. Only one. Men's Rumble was meh. I don't like Ronda Rousey, so I don't care about the Women's Rumble, unfortunately. Sorry to all the people. I picked Bayley to win. If Bayley would have won and came back and won, I don't know where her status is, but if she would have came back and won, I'd have been thrilled. But after everything that I watched from the Rumble, there's one thing that I actually enjoyed. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
I think no.
I'm all the fucking way in, boys, okay? I'm all the fucking way in. I bought it literally watching the Royal Rumble. I am all the fucking way in. Everything Roman did at the Rumble was fucking amazing. It was perfect. Their match was perfectly put together, coming out, the Paul Heyman turn again, all of it was completely perfect. That's the only good thing about that happened at the Royal Rumble. That's what I
pretty
have.
good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Then of course
My favorite part was the Rollins entrance.
and then I fucking turned it on. Yeah, that was perfect too. Like I said, it was the whole thing was just set up perfectly. And then I turned the fucking camera on, and AJ's got a King Switch shirt on. I'm like, motherfucker.
One step ahead.
So,
always.
Yeah, literally, we got back to, Brittany's stepmom's house, and I was laying there. I had the little Surface thing, and I had the Rumble pulled up on it, and I was watching it. And I just got in the middle of it, and a thing popped up. It was like, hey, teas are like half off, and I'm like, do I want to do it? And then I was like, oh, I'm not going to get it before we record last week. And so I literally went to the mall and was going to buy a different Roman Reigns shirt so that I had one for when we recorded. And then we just didn't record last week, and then this one came in the mail. So I was like, here we go. I'm in, 100%. It's the only good thing WWE has going right now is Roman Reigns.
Agreed.
Sure, Dustin's bitch ass was buying a bunch of shirts there anyway, so shows what you get.
I didn't buy
Dustin.
shit.
Which leads... Okay,
Oh,
hold on.
shit.
Hold on. There is one other thing that we have to talk about the Royal Rumble. I said...
Dumbass.
So, and also the people, if you've seen our few past episodes, you know that we've gave Dustin lots of shit about meeting professional wrestlers and not telling them he has a wrestling show. So, Dustin, you brought this on yourself. I lied to you. I said I was going to leave it in the production meeting.
I know.
I ain't fucking doing it. So, there's the other thing is, you've probably heard about these little stickers I made. I still got one right here that Dustin not only asked me to make, messaged my wife to make sure I can make it so that he could take them to the Royal Rumble and hand them out to everyone. Dustin.
Yep.
Install and stuff.
Dustin, were you able to hand those stickers out at the Royal Rumble?
Sure fucking didn't. Folks were in a hurry to get there, and I totally forgot.
That should have been number one. Hey, before I put my shirt on, I got my stickers.
Right.
Yeah.
Get your pants on. Got the stickers in the pocket.
And then he put it on some random gas station somewhere between here and St. Louis. And I was like, hey, there's totally a link on that where they can get in touch with us and probably say, hey, this is vandalism. I don't know. No one, to my knowledge, I haven't checked our YouTube comments. To my knowledge, no one has reached out yet, so we're safe for right now.
Probably mad that he covered up the Biden sticker on the guy.
Yeah. Like, at least somebody finally covered that thing up. But yeah. So, printed off like 40 stickers for Dustin to hand out the Royal Rumble. Didn't make it to the Royal Rumble. They didn't make it inside the arena.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else you guys thought about the Rumble? Anything?
Just the sign catching on fire is pretty dope too, you know.
Yeah? Twice. Burn the whole place down for real? But like
they really wanted to burn it down, huh?
Yeah. They didn't even play that music. They didn't even play Seth's music to burn it down.
No.
But no, yeah, like I said, I thought that the whole Shield thing, and it's like that perfect thing where it's like, okay, well, this actually did piss Roman off. This sets Roman off the edge. He's just gonna fucking choke Seth out. And it was funny because Seth was actually on. Pat McAfee and them are in L.A. this week for doing Super Bowl Radio Row stuff, and Rollins was actually on there yesterday. And he comes on, he's still doing the whole suit thing and everything, and he, but Pat introduced him as the person who got his ass beat by Roman Reigns. It was fucking hilarious. It was so funny. It was great.
The guillotine go on, I don't know, like a minute, maybe 2 minutes too long.
Probably, but still.
Like,
yeah, if you have an actual guillotine, I've almost killed someone with an actual guillotine. Not,
kill him times.
Yeah, not actual kill somebody, but I did almost make my cousin pass out with a guillotine one time because he couldn't. I didn't really couldn't tap. It's very easy to choke someone out and make them pass out with that move if you have it on correctly. So could be a very dangerous move. But yeah,
I tried to do a triangle choke one time, and you can see like the room go, everything go black like real quick.
Yeah,
I should have taught her what the tap means.
Yeah, that probably would. That probably would help.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what else did we have? We got the Rumble, and we got all kinds of crap to talk about. I'm sure AJ's got a pages full of notes.
Well, I mean, going off of the Rumble, right? There were a lot of missed opportunities. There were a lot of what you call the WWE legends. There were a bunch of people backstage that weren't even used. I don't know if you guys remember Oksana. I think that's her name. Oksana used to work with. She was paired with Cesaro for a little bit. I think she was like a backstage. I want to say like assistant to like Teddy at one point. She was backstage. Caitlyn was backstage. Booker T. Booker T. Kurt Angle. We all saw the picture of Undertaker with Bad Bunny. Jillian Hall as well. When Caitlyn and Jillian Hall came back, and even Oksana, they thought they were going to be in the Rumble, and nope, they just didn't use them at all.
So did they get did they get like an invite to come to the Rumble and then just didn't get used at the Rumble?
And didn't get used.
That's hilarious.
I figured it's probably as alternates, just in case if someone showed up and was sick and couldn't show up.
Changed his mind.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, they changed their mind like 50 million times for this Rumble, this premium live event.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, man.
Yeah, they changed the men's Rumble about like 25 times. They said about at least, and it was all because of Shane McMahon, who was the lead producer for that match. He wanted to really get over in that match, and he wanted to outstrike the former MMA fighter in Riddle. He wanted to be in the Final Four, which that was something that ended up happening. I don't know what else he wanted to do, but he didn't want to get thrown out by anybody but Brock Lesnar, and a bunch of other shit. So much shit that it got so much heat from a lot of people. It's said that Shane has been let go, but I mean, who knows what that means, right? He's a McMahon, so he can always eventually come back.
Air talent, his contract is done, probably.
Right. But I mean,
go start WCW again.
I mean, why not? Yeah, a lot of people were upset in general, especially for the women's Rumble match. Tyson Kidd usually produces a lot of the women matches, the big shows, big matches, and he hasn't been around for a while. Actually, he was meeting with some people at AEW to be a producer over there. I don't know if his transition will come over there, but a lot of actually the female superstars actually like working with Tyson Kidd. I think he really manages to put a spotlight on that division and give everyone an opportunity. And I think that was one reason that Asuka didn't come back. Well, they also said Asuka wasn't ready. What the fuck that means? She's been gone for a while.
She wasn't ready for herself.
But also, hey, shut the fuck up, Dustin. But it was a main reason why Alexa Bliss didn't come back. When she heard that Tyson Kidd wasn't going to be around, she wasn't going to come back.
Also,
even though
I didn't buy tickets to that Royal Rumble.
Right, sure, right,
Yeah.
sure.
Sure,
Yeah.
We're TikTok friends. But go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
I forgot about being TikTok friends.
But I mean, she's got her own vignettes that they're doing right now, right? Her journey back to Raw, most likely her transition from the spooky character back to the goddess. Apparently, they've got 9 segments already taped for that, but it doesn't mean the clips that we're getting on Raw are actually one segment. They can all actually be from one fucking segment, and this could last until after WrestleMania.
Veer Mahan is coming to Monday Night Raw. Veer
There's a
Mahan
chance that
and
Veer
Alexa
could show up
Bliss.
before Bliss.
Veer Mahan and Alexa Bliss are coming to Monday Night Raw. Maybe. That's hilarious.
But going back to the Rumble, we all know Ronda won, Brock won, 2 part-timers. It just shows that WWE and Vince have little to zero confidence on actually building a new star.
Yeah.
To actually have them win.
Yeah.
And And at this point, right, it's all about trying to make the most amount of revenue for WrestleMania.
What's so crazy to me is even looking at who they still have and who they haven't cut. Like, you still have big freaking names that you could use. Obviously, Roman, but it's like, because I mean, Roman's got me to buy my first WWE merch, and I don't even know how long. But it's like, you got Roman. Seth is still one of the biggest names in the company. Kevin Owens is one of the biggest names in the company. I mean, you kind of treat Sami Zayn like he's a joke, but he just re-signed. You got people like Big E, Lashley that are there every single week, and it's
Balor
like,
wasn't even in the Royal Rumble.
yeah, exactly. You got people like Balor. You have these people that you are not using, and then you're released. Like, what was it, 2 years ago that Keith Lee's potential was through the roof? He's fist bumping Roman Reigns in Survivor Series, and it's like, where's Keith Lee now? It's like, you don't. And sometimes you don't have to have, like, you don't have to build stars that hard. Like, sometimes it's pretty easy. They just don't, and it's like, they just want, like you said, it's just the money. It's the Goldberg. It's the Ronda. It's the Roman. And how WWE, I don't know if it's WWE fans. I don't know if it's just wrestling fans in general. But Ronda was almost unanimously hated by the time she left.
They had to talk to her
Yeah,
at Raw.
after Raw,
Because,
yeah.
yeah, because she was upset about the fans.
Yeah. So
But she's still upset about the fans being still booing her, and you could tell by that Raw promo that she did and how much disdain she still had. And yeah, somebody talked to her, was like, you gotta just let that shit go. Like, come on, you have to.
Well,
Like, that was 3 years ago. Come on.
Right.
Well, I mean, at the Rumble, she was getting cheered mostly. I mean, Dustin, you were there. I don't know if it was,
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
but to me, it's.
I know that sound too.
I mean, yeah, that's probably true too. But it's like, I don't get it, man. It's, and then like I didn't watch the Raw stuff, but I did watch the SmackDown Ronda stuff, which that segment was awful and made no sense. It's like, oh, they literally advertised Ronda the whole night. Oh, don't forget Ronda's going to be here. Ronda's going to be here. Ronda's going to be here. It was worse than AEW advertising that they do during their show. And it was like, oh, Ronda's going to be here. And then it's like, oh, Charlotte comes out. Sonya's in the ring with her. Sonya tells Charlotte that, oh, I just talked to Becky or whatever. She's going to cash in on, or she's going to pick Becky. And it's like, so why were you advertising Ronda the whole night? It should have been better if you just didn't say that. Then Ronda surprises everybody and then says she's picking Charlotte. Promo skills are still awful. Like, her mic skills are still atrocious. I mean, I don't. It's just her ring work's trash still. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like they had to have that talk with her because Ronda's supposed to be the baby face in this match. Like, they're like, okay, we gotta pair her with Charlotte because everyone just hates Charlotte.
Yeah.
So like, okay, we gotta make you the baby face. You gotta not have this macho bravado against your character and be like pissy all the time and mad at the fans.
Yeah,
But-
it's not working. It won't work. I don't know what she has that just it doesn't click for her. It's like, I understand she's a big name and that's pretty much why she's there. Because if she wrestled and talked the way she did without that name, she would not be wrestling.
Truth.
So, like, I mean, if you give her wrestling abilities and her name to some random indie person that's coming up or something, they'll never touch a WWE ring ever. So it's like, yeah. No, she's that bad. Like, watching her throw her stupid little combinations in the ring actually pissed me off. Like, you're supposed to be a real fighter, and
Tamina
Shane
has a
McMahon's
job.
combinations look better than hers.
Tamina has a job.
Tamina's better at wrestling than Ronda Rousey.
No.
Yes, yes.
No.
At least Ronda gave Nia Jax her best match, period. I'm sure that's one of Joey's favorite women's matches of all time.
Naya knew that
All
if you
time.
hurt her, she'd get her arm broke.
No, Ronda is that bad.
Agree.
Thank you. But yeah, now we have to look forward to Goldberg versus Roman. Hopefully Goldberg doesn't kill Roman. And Ronda versus Charlotte. Which, I mean, I know the one thing's Elimination Chamber, so it wasn't WrestleMania, but
Here's the thing now, right? So Bobby's champion, which is great. That's cool.
oh yeah, fine.
I like Bobby
Yeah.
as champion.
I like Bobby. I'm fine with the angle that they did. That's fine.
Yes. But they still have no fucking clue what they actually want to do with this WWE
Yeah.
championship.
They're
So
it's getting United. Like,
Oh yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying is like there's a thing I've seen on TikTok that from wrestling stuff that's like, oh, how mad are you going to be if this happens? And it's literally a picture of Roman with both belts because it's like, oh well, Bobby obviously Brock's going to win it at Elimination Chamber. He's going to go face Roman. They're going to unite him, whatever. I'm totally fine with them not doing that and setting up some great feud with Rollins, Owens, Big E, whoever else with Lashley and actually work a decent feud. But, I mean, I'm sure some other part-timer will come in. Shane McMahon will be in the main event or something.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, but here's the thing, right? We've got WrestleMania again where it's
Fucking
two
Veer
nights.
Mahan, dude.
2 nights. So why would you try doing a unification match, right? I feel like that's kind of stupid. I mean, it's
Well, I mean,
it's
they'll headline.
big card.
It'll be like last year, where like the Ronda and Charlotte will headline Saturday night,
Day one. Yeah.
and then Roman and Brock will headline Sunday night.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so stupid.
Oh, it's 100% stupid. I'm 100% with you. It's
It's
stupid,
terrible.
but
Yeah.
no, trust me. I'm 100% firmly in the camp of keep the belts separate. Keep them titles. We're talking about WWE titles.
Yeah.
Keep them separate. Like I'm 100% in that camp. I think the brand split works. I prefer the brand split, so I prefer to keep the brand separate. I don't want the traveling champion. I didn't like it when the women tag team titles. I think do they even still have women tag team titles?
Yes.
Yeah, it hasn't been defended in a long time, I don't think.
But I mean, yeah, I don't like that those bounce around. It just, yeah.
But it's the problem now, right? It's not just it's the WWE Championship where they haven't been able to do anything with it for a while.
Well, I mean,
even when Big E had it, like he had a nice title run, they shafted him for however long he had it. But even competition wise, they weren't giving Big E
yeah.
whatever he needed to be that elevated champion, and now they just moved Big E back to SmackDown and think it's okay, so he can be a tag team with Kofi again. But now we've got.
I forgot about that they did that, even though I did watch SmackDown Friday. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then day one happens. Brock is champion. He holds it and then doesn't do anything until Rumble happens. Then they flip it to Bobby. And then we're gonna get Elimination Chamber. And if they flip it again, it's like the worth of your title is in shit.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not?
I mean,
and that's the thing that everyone's been talking about. That's what Meltzer's been saying is like, yeah, they still have no clue what they're going to be doing for the title at WrestleMania. But if you really think about it, they haven't figured out what to do with it for the last 6 months.
Yeah. Well, Lashley's first little run that he did before he lost it to who did he lose? Did he lose it to Big E? Yeah, that Lashley run was actually a decent run. It was fine. It was a good run. It was Lashley deserved it. Lashley did good with it. It was great. And then it was like, okay, now let's give Big E this turn. But then for some reason they just which they could have gave Big E a decent run, but instead they don't. And completely, I mean, whatever the plans changed with Roman and COVID and. Damn it, that was the joke I was going to make, that me and Roman beat COVID. That was the joke I was going to make, and I totally forgot about it. Anyways.
Damn. Good joke.
Yeah, I had it laid out in my head better.
Yeah, it would have killed, I'm sure.
I just remembered. COVID brain still. I'm still not 100%, so. But yeah. But it was like, I don't understand how they don't have any plans. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me how you don't know what you're doing. You've been doing this for how many years? How long has Vincent Kennedy McMahon been in charge since what? I don't even know how long.
Too damn long.
80s.
Okay.
From his daddy.
Okay, so he bought it from his
Joey
dad.
was there.
Yeah, Joey was at the contract signing.
Yeah.
So that's what 40 something, almost 40 years, and you still don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. He did at one point.
Yeah.
But then he kind of lost it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
All those stunners.
Probably,
Fucked your head.
probably. That and fucking just eating creatine and sleeping for 45 minutes a night.
Yeah. Steak wraps.
Yeah. Fucking
Oh
get
man, damn it!
dinosaur skulls in his head, in his office and shit.
It's pretty cool though.
I guess.
You gotta plug me in, dog.
Yeah, I don't plug him in. Yeah. That's a fucking callback right there. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they have universal title nailed down. Hey, this is what's. Nailed down. It's still. I mean, that's had a good. Hey, basically, let's give somebody for Roman to beat, which is probably what Brock is as well. But it's like, it seems obviously more important because it is more important. But it's like you have this other title on this other show that you're just kind of like, yeah, you guys do something, and it's suffering. Like the product's suffering because of it.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, it's just.
Long story short, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does
For everyone.
because they've got already the set idea of who their top guys are, and if they're not champion, it's like, okay, how do we ease them around without pissing off so many people?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what ended up happening to Big E. I mean, Big E is a great baby face, and then you've got all those nice good heels. But let's say that the top of that list was Seth Rollins, and Vince loves Seth Rollins, and we already know that they wanted to put the belt on Seth, and yeah, it just didn't end up turning out the way everyone has thought. I mean, Seth could still win it at Elimination Chamber, but again, there are too many what ifs going on there, and we've got Roman is set to face Goldberg, then he's gonna face Brock, and it's like, okay, what are we gonna do after that? Because after Brock's gonna probably leave again. He's probably gonna be like,
Yeah.
Deuce,
It'll
I'm
be
out.
Seth's turn after that. After WrestleMania. Be my guess.
Mm.
Speculation is Drew McIntyre is gonna get his shot at Roman after WrestleMania. After he fucking blows off this feud with Madcap Moss,
and yeah.
he's most likely gonna fight Happy Corbin at WrestleMania.
Or probably a squash handicap match. I mean, it could be a one-on-one with Corbin, but I'd figure they'll make it. Even if it's a one-on-one, it'll still be a handicap match because they'll still get involved. But whatever, yeah.
We get NXT Corbin back again.
Bro.
Actually, you know what? NXT 2.0 this week actually was pretty solid. I would give it up to them. I think they're finally starting to catch some type of groove. Finally, even though the main event was absolute trash. You weren't even on the fucking card. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? It's definitely not. Maybe because you're not on it. That's why they're having a groove.
First off, I agree with Joey. NXT Corbin was best Corbin. And they brought him up to main roster, and he was doing really good. And they tried to change everything about him, change his music and everything. I did see some clips from NXT 2.0 this week. I seen the Braun Breaker promo, or that he did with what's his name? Santos Escobar, is that his name? Yep. Oh, nailed it. I didn't want to say it and be completely wrong. And then, Dolph coming out and then Ciampa coming out and everything. So it was all right. I don't know. It's weird seeing Dolph on NXT, but I mean, it's going to be one of those little things where, hey, we'll have a main roster guy that's not really doing anything go to NXT and get beat up by the champion.
Well, Dolph knows how to put on a match.
That's also true. Yeah.
And I think that's what they're trying to help establish with Braun, is, have that match credibility going forward. And, I mean, even though Dolph will never be world champion, he's I think a fantastic worker. So I think he's going to help him get over in that aspect of the realm. Next week, I think, is, what do they call it? Is it Vengeance Day?
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about. I didn't know if it was next
Yeah.
week, but I think that's what they were calling it, Vengeance Day or something. Yeah.
Yeah, Vengeance Day. Braun will defend against Santos. The Dusty Club men's final is on that card. Steel Cage Weapons, Tony D'Angelo and Pete Dunne. And there's something else. Imperium's not on it. I knew the tag titles weren't going to be defended. Oh, Carmelo Hayes versus Cameron Grimes. So,
Who's the guy? He's from UK. He had a feud with Pete Dunne.
Tyler Bate,
yeah, I was going to say Tyler Bate. He's in
NXT UK.
yeah. Yeah, they brought back Mustache Mountain, I think.
Yeah, I like
At least
him a lot.
they did for a bit. I don't know if they're like now, but they did for a
He was
bit.
really good.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, they shipped him back because he was too good.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, we can't have that over here.
Right.
They're like, we already got one UK person. We're
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Quota met.
And we're kicking William Regal out, man. We can't have. I mean, get on out of here. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Vince is running WWE like if your little brother grabbed the controller when you went to the bathroom in my GM mode and fucked up your shit.
Yeah.
That's basically what he's doing.
Yeah. It's just, I just want to know. I just wish I could sit in their production meetings. I just wish I could sit in their production meetings and just sit there and just watch and see that these ideas that they come up with, and then see how they're executed, because it's so interesting to me, like how they're making such bad decisions, but then they're just like, okay, yeah, let's keep them going.
Oh, I just asked Dustin. He's there. Brother Loves in the production meetings. Why they're so shitty.
I feel like there's a problem. A problem
He's
that WWE,
everywhere.
a problem that WWE's had for a while is that they're good at telling one. Right now, is I feel like they're just. And again, I was a kid during the Attitude Era, so it might have been the same thing, and I just didn't pay attention.
I wasn't though.
Yeah, Joe, so you can tell us because you weren't a kid in the Attitude Era.
I was in high school. That's fucking great.
But I feel like it's. I feel like now it's like we get one story at a time. It's like we get Roman's story and that's it, and there's no
I
other
wasn't
like.
that attitude era.
Yeah, there's no other side story. Like, I felt like when I was watching wrestling growing up, there was always a side story. These people always had this person, like, and it felt natural. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's because I wasn't paying attention to the dirt sheets and what this person's contract looks like against this person's, whatever. But it always felt like there was a story. It's like you get like actual moments of shit, and it's like I don't feel like we hardly get that anymore. And when they do, they're forced, and it just doesn't make any sense. You get stupid segments like, I mean, there's too many to count, but you get just really dumb segments that just don't make any sense, and it's like I don't feel like there's any stories going on.
Yeah.
It's like they just do shit. They just do shit to do shit. Like they did the whole King Woods thing, and it's like, okay, they just did King of the Ring. Just do King of the Ring, and it's like there's no point to it. Nothing happens now. Like Xavier's gonna wear a crown for a little while and change his name, and
Yeah, they put all their eggs in one basket for sure, and you can definitely tell that. And yeah, I mean, and it's everything else is on the fly, and you can tell that by watching the weekly show, right? Raw's like that all the time, where they think they have this plan set up, and then
if there's anybody listening for audio, Joey's headset just died and he couldn't figure out how to work it, so we're down to 3-man crew.
And they just replan it, hours before. So again, it's just a lot of makeshift shit.
That is true. That's the worst part. Is like they'll come up with plans, and you'll have like these elaborate ideas, and then 20 minutes for showtime, it's like, nope, scrap that. Seth, get out there and do this or whatever. And it's like, okay. It takes out long-term planning, which just fucks everything up. Meanwhile, you got fucking people in AEW with fucking vlog channels that set up their feuds and shit, and it's all long-term shit. And you got it's like off the top of my head, like I can't, like when I think of WWE, hey, I need to name feuds. I need to name storylines. I got Roman and Brock. I have the RK Bro versus Alpha Academy, like their whole who's smarter than who storyline. I don't know if I can name another WWE storyline, but I mean, then you get to AEW and it's like, okay, well, there's the Bucks versus all of Adam Cole's friends. There's Malachi Black and his House of Black that he's building with everything's going on with Pac and whatever Penta video pack. AEW needs to work on video packages. Whatever that video package was last night of just Penta digging up a mask. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know a lot of
Penta's.
You don't know about
Hold on.
Dark,
Hold on.
man.
I don't know a lot about Penta's past. I'm assuming that's him bringing up a darker, older character. I can put context.
Underground, man.
I can put context clues together that he's probably gonna get violent. My problem isn't with what he did. My problem is with the video package and the production. It could have been done way better, but they'll get there eventually. But it's like you got the whole inner circle thing that's going on. There's storylines that you're actually being able to dig into. There's like the whole Lucha Bros, not Lucha Bros, the whole Jurassic Express and the Gun Club thing that will be literally nothing, but they're still making a story out of it. Yeah.
Ass Boys.
Are they not Gun Club anymore?
They're a gun club, but
okay.
they're called the Ass Boy. Danhausen calls them Ass Boys.
Oh, okay. So, but still, you have storylines that are going on, and it's like even this whole I'm pretty sure at concluding Dynamite this week, I'm sure we'll get to it, but you have the few week build up that we had with Hangman and Lance Archer, which was pretty good match. I love how Hangman improvised the Buckshot Lariat still, and then immediately it's like, okay, well now Adam Cole comes out, puts the title on his shoulder, like, hey, I'm next now. And it's like we're still moving storylines, but it doesn't feel forced necessarily like they do have to do with WWE. It's just I don't understand how. I don't know. I mean, like MJF and CM Punk, like you have storylines that have nothing going on between them. There's no titles, no nothing, and you can't get that in WWE right now.
Yep.
And that's like the biggest thing that's hurting WWE is you can't get storylines. So when you tune in for 5 hours a week, 6 if you count NXT. NXT's 2 hours now, right?
Yeah, it's always been 2 hours.
Yeah. So 5-7 hours a week, and it's like there's no storylines. And then you get 3 hours. How long is Rampage? Is Rampage just an hour?
Yeah, it's just an hour.
So you get 3 hours of AEW and triple the stories. I don't know.
Yeah, count Dark. How many hours is that on the tapings, AJ?
It depends. It used to be 2 hours,
Gotcha.
and now it kind of fluctuates between an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then Elevation's always about an hour. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah,
I wasn't sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just I don't know. I feel like it's a thing that WWE hasn't had in a while. The ability to tell stories that don't revolve around your main person. And I mean, it was John Cena era. It was the same thing where it's like, everything's John Cena, and if it's not John Cena, you doing it for like when I watched wrestling or watched SmackDown the other night, and I'm like, Ricochet versus Rich Holland. It's like
He broke the dude's nose.
Like, what am I doing here? Like, I know they need to put content on, but it's like
so that is a perfect example of how some bullshit booking and writing that they do. Too many ghostwriters. That's why. There's too many things that they're trying to accomplish. Ricochet gets the win. Immediately gets Rich Holland gets the win back by pinning Cesaro on a tag match.
Yeah.
So their constant need to do a 50-50 booking is what's really killing them.
Yeah.
And not to mention, I mean, again, Ricochet's a top star, and his main battle right now is with catering, basically.
Damn.
Because, I think that's what is so great about AEW's storylines, because now there's so many of them, but there's at least some type of freedom and exploration of what things we can do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really keeps, a story going, right? Is how creative can we be and get with this?
Yeah.
And I think that's, besides Punk and MJF and having the two best guys on the mic right now go at each other and take verbal jabs at each other is probably something that, everyone needs to have a one-on-one, one class, class one-on-one on, so.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just watching it, and it's like watching Dynamite last night. I just there are certain things that happen, obviously, that I didn't care about. There's whatever this Professor Serena Deeb thing is. I don't care for her or her character. It's she's whatever, but it's like everything else just seems like, hey, this all has a nice flow to it. It's actually, I don't know. It's just weird watching. After watching wrestling for so long, it's like, hey, WWE actually has real competition because they just don't care anymore. It's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's it's weird.
Not to Dustin. He's a WWE stan, diehard.
Oh, you know it.
With the IWC. Fucking
AJ,
fickle bitch.
how upset are you gonna be when Cole wins the belt from your man Hangman?
Oh, I want to be so sad. I know they're setting that match up for Evolution, and it's gonna be a fucking banger of a match.
Hell yeah, it is.
1000%. But I don't think it's Adam Cole's time just yet. Because
you have a timeline on Omega?
Oh, I don't know. He's been dealing with injuries on top of injuries since I think when he became champion is kind of when things were really bad, and he's been wrestling through them. So he's gonna get a nice time off, and which is fine because it's gonna build up enough within everything.
Exactly, it's good for multiple reasons. One, because he gets his break and he can relax and chill, take his mental break, his physical break, and everything. Two, they don't need him right now. No. Three, the return's going to be fucking crazy whenever it happens.
Yep.
So it's let it breathe, let it build, let it happen. Just, it's going to work. Because that's something I noticed last night watching AEW. It's okay, obviously we get the Jay White tease. Lost my fucking mind. Massive Jay White fan. Don't let the Roman Reigns shirt fool you. Massive Jay White fan.
Right. Because, I'm the one that's repping.
I'm
repping.
It's next on my list to get a Jay White shirt. But it was watching it, and it was okay, so we have the Jay White tease. Keith Lee comes out. He signs officially with AEW. It's okay, now AEW's starting to get a lot of top-heavy talent as well. That's going to be... Because now you look there, Andrade, Malachi Black. What?
Was that a pun? You said heavy. And you said Keith Lee.
No, Dustin, shut up. No.
Okay,
sorry. I gotta be so fucking rude, you little bitch.
Dude. We get... but still, you got Hangman, Cole, Bryan Danielson, Moxley, Punk, MJF. You still have all these people, and it's you start looking at them okay, you guys are gonna. You guys are. I don't want you to run into the same problem where you get people not doing anything because they don't have a title to, revolve themselves around, because they're getting a lot of talent too. So hopefully they can manage it better than WWE does.
Yeah. There are some top talent there that do worry me. That I was really excited for them to sign. And then they're kind of a little lost in the shuffle. Andrade being one. Jay Lethal. I feel since the debut match with Sammy, which was a great match.
Yes.
He hasn't been doing much. He's been on Dark more often. He did have last week on Rampage.
I did watch
the
that
match with Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
Was crazy.
Yeah.
And
that ending was insane. That was perfect. I don't 100% know what Jay Lethal's finisher is. I know what it's called, but
it's a cutter.
Okay, but how Ricky, because I don't really care for Ricky Starks, but how he turned it around into something, I was okay. That's pretty fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a perfect example. That now that you're saying it, of a name that I was excited to come to AEW, and I felt almost immediately got lost in the shuffle was Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
And then you got people is Miro still signed to AEW?
Miro's still signed. He's I think he was doing an injury and he was doing a movie as well.
Okay.
So yeah, he took some time off.
So that just throws people in the names of, hey, these are top tier people that should have been top tier people in WWE, but
Well, the same thing can be said for Lance Archer.
Yeah.
He was dealing with an injury, but I mean, ever since his TNT title shot in that tournament, after that he really wasn't doing anything. He was just beating up a lot of the enhancement talent, and then he came back and then had this like 3 week program with Hangman. I figure they could have done a bigger build up for it.
I
feel
agree
like
with
it was
that.
a little
Yeah.
rush.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But the match was fucking great.
Yeah.
I thought that was some crazy ass shit they did. I thought it was really good. But now it's like, okay, well, what the hell is Hangman gonna do, or Archer gonna do now?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, he's never gonna be. I feel like top echelon. He won't be world champion. He could be a tag team champion. He could be a TNT champion, but like he was in TNA back in the day, the Rock and Rave Infection. He was tag champ there, so
Yeah.
like he could go back, but I don't know. Like,
Are you talking about
There
Lance
ha-
Archer?
yes, Lance Archer.
I
He was
wanna-
Lance Hoyt
That's
back in the day.
it.
Um,
Because I know I've recognized him, and I just never really knew what it was from, and I just took it as maybe I just seen matches of him. Yeah, okay.
Lance
Yeah, Impact days. Okay, I remember
Yep.
now.
So yeah, so I figure AEW is gonna have to kind of rely on a lot of cross promotion stuff, to give people some freedom until Ring of Honor decides to come back, and that's even if they do come back in April, or yeah, April, because they're doing, I think, their super card in April. If they decide to be a promotion again, I think all of the people that were let go by Ring of Honor will just go back.
Yeah.
But I mean, Lethal's not going back. He signed a contract with AEW. Again, we don't know how long.
I mean, and I don't want, because I know AEW's only technically been around just a little over 2 years.
Yep.
With Dynamite and everything. So they're obviously still very, very new, and I don't want to. But it did get me thinking last night, watching it, and obviously seeing Jay White, Keith Lee, and all that. It's like I don't want to, because again, like I said earlier, talking about WWE, big fan of brand splits, but I don't want to get to that point. I don't want to force AEW into something like that they're not.
Right.
But it could be a thing where it doesn't hurt. Where okay, you have Dynamite. Now you need Rampage to go live instead of being a pre-tape show for an hour. Maybe just do it live and do old school WWE. Everybody kind of bounces back and forth. But hey, Adam Cole's not on he's not on Rampage this week. He's on Dynamite or something like that. I mean, and then that's probably the best way to do it is slowly move to Rampage maybe being live. Then if you keep signing people and everything keeps floating, then maybe look at brand splitting and things like that. But eventually they're going to have to do something because they're getting names, like pretty big names, and you're just going to have people floating with nothing to do, and don't want to end up in the same creative dead spot that WWE's in,
Right.
where you have names and you just don't know how to use them.
Right, and again, you're also wanting to showcase your day one people, your originals, your pillars, actually build a developmental as well. Obviously, you've got the shows for Dark and Dark Elevation. That is your developmental. So I know they're trying to push that because they do want to build their own stars as well. But you know, the people that were the indies are now getting a proper showcase, which is nice, and we'll see. I feel like there are still more people to come, and I feel like it's exciting, but it's also really scary.
Yeah.
You know, the thought of potentially Killer Cross and Scarlet Bordeaux
I mean,
coming.
yeah, because you still have a lot of free agents out there.
Yep. There
You got-
potentially could the Briscoe brothers, which I think is the one that needs to happen.
Yeah.
To show up already. Bandito. Bandito's another one.
Technically,
Gresham.
Bray's still
Gresham
out
is
there.
good.
Yeah.
Yep. Bray Wyatt. Whatever the control your narrative is, wherever that's gonna go. So yeah, I mean, there's still
Buddy Matthews. I mean, he's out there. He's signed with New Japan, but
he's signed with New Japan.
still,
Yeah, but still, yeah, and whatever that they want to do with New Japan, I really want them to do so much more with New Japan.
yes.
Ring of Honor.
I want Will Ospreay and Jay White more in the United States. I know Will Ospreay's never coming anywhere close to the United States, probably, but
it's not true. I'll tell you something later. One thing that Ring of Honor did have that I really liked was the G1 Supercard, and that was a cross-promotion show,
yeah.
pay-per-view that they did with New Japan, a little Impact, some AAA.
And honestly, I feel like that's something that AEW and honestly these other promotions that are obviously all second fiddle to WWE, because
Yep.
I had to correct Logan last night. For those who don't know, he's my almost 8-year-old kid, and I put Dynamite on TV, and he's like, "Oh, you watching WWE?" No, I'm watching wrestling. He's like, he looked at it again. He goes, "No, you're watching WWE." I said, "Logan, no. This is a different company. It is the same. It is kind of the same as WWE. It's the same idea, but it's not the same promotion. They have different. See, those are different letters and everything like that." So I had to explain to him last night that not every wrestling is WWE, because he's used to seeing his YouTube videos of kids playing and all those the WWE 2K games and everything, and it's like, no, there's other stuff out there other than WWE. But that's something that New Japan, which I know New Japan's not really concerned with it because they're not in this country much, which I mean I guess they probably kind of are because they do some stuff here, but Ring of Honor, if they come back, GCW, Impact, all these people should be using that for things like that, and even build, like you said, build storylines across it. Have Jay White literally pick a feud with, I don't know, Moxley, pick a feud with someone and have them. Oh, well, that's gonna end. That could be a match that we look forward to in some kind of tournament. I mean, that's something that they need to like stop being hard headed and like, hey, let's use this. It's smart.
Picture this:
Oh, here we go.
Bucks and Omega versus Cole and Red Dragon versus Jay White and the Gorillas of Destiny.
Shut your fucking mouth, okay? I don't. Shut up, okay? Just shut up. Just shut up, okay? Because that'll never happen. Shut up, okay?
Don't worry, I'm gonna make it
can
happen.
make it
I'm gonna talk to Tony right
Yeah,
now.
you fucking call Tony right now, live on the show. Like, yo, my guy, I got this thing. That also was one of the funniest things. It's just randomly reminded me of it. The Seth Rollins on PMS thing. They were talking about Rollins breaking up the Shield because they were talking about I think Michael Cole called the New Day on the Royal Rumble or SmackDown or something, called the New Day the greatest faction in WWE history or something like that. And Rollins was like, whoa, you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There was a group a few years ago called the Shield. They were, and then of course Pat poking at him was like, nah, yeah, but you tore that shit down. That was all your fault. And he's like, yeah, look at everybody now. Look at Roman where he's at. Look at Mox where he's at. He's working for the other company. And I'm trying to remember what he said, because they mentioned the other company, and I can't remember what they said. Damn it, I had it and I forgot. I lost it.
I'd say or that scumbag Adam Cole.
No, he does say that a lot, which is it's hilarious. The only thing that I disagree with, but it's that yes, he still does. They don't talk about Adam Cole as much since he left WWE. When he was still in NXT, they did talk about him a lot and call him that scumbag Adam Cole. No, I can't remember what he said, but they mentioned something about the other brand and everything, and yeah, it was pretty funny. But I lost my train of thought of where I was going.
But one last thing, you know, Ring of Honor is finally doing their own Hall of Fame. Each week they reveal one person. I think for their first class, I think they're doing 4 or 5 people. The first nominee, and I've posted this as they're revealed on the Facebook page, but the the Briscoes were the first ones that they announced, and then an American Dragon.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson was the second one. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm surprised they didn't do Jimmy Jacobs, who I think was kind of like their big star back in the day. I figured he would have been kind of the first to go. I wouldn't put it past them to do Samoa Joe or Punk as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Because I think it's really cool because they did some of the, I don't say newer generation for Ring of Honor with the Briscoes, because they've been, like, I feel like the 20-time tag team champions there for a while. It's the only company they've been with. Bryan Danielson is the old Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So one person I feel like you'll never see, I feel like they won't be able to do it is like Kevin Steen or Tyler Black.
Yeah.
I feel like they wouldn't, the WWE wouldn't allow it, but who knows? Maybe.
They're putting
open door policy.
Yeah,
so.
well, they're putting in Kevin Steen, not Kevin Owens. So I'm sure that's skating some lawsuit lines. But hey, they're not inducting Kevin Owens; they're inducting Kevin Steen. So,
well, it's kind of like when it goes back to when they did the Hall of Fame for Impact, and they wanted Christian, and Christian was still, I think, contracted with WWE at the time, and they're like, yeah, we want him for the ceremony, and they had to work out some type of thing. So I thought they'd probably want to try and finagle that as well.
Yeah, there's no telling what they'll do. But that brings up another thing. I don't know how his in ring is, but like people, you got Samoa Joe that you could bring in for AEW to do something on screen, because he's a great talker. So he could come and build some kind of cool little faction. I don't know. That's just random thought I had, but I don't know. I feel like AEW is just benefiting more from WWE's stupidity, maybe, than their own. I don't know.
Yeah, miscomings, their misfortunes, essentially.
Yeah.
Their misplacement.
Yeah.
And their I want to say their judgment, but their misplacement on where they see the future is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because you have people that are just insane wrestlers that are just walking into AEW, and it's like, this is hilarious. Like, if you'd have told me Andrade, Keith Lee, Aleister Black, Malachi Black, Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and whoever else are all on one roster, it's like, oh yeah, you're stupid. No, those guys are going to be WWE guys for a while. Yep. And it's like, well, not really. It's like, okay.
And don't forget, the biggest free agent out of everyone.
There we go.
Cody Rhodes.
That's true. That is true. Somebody posted about him being the special entrant. That would have pissed so many people off. But it'd have been good for the not heel character. It'd have been perfect for that. But
or what they could do is for the Face of the Revolution ladder match is, I think it's like 6 people, let's say, whatever, and then they're like, oh wait, we just been formally told and announced that there will be a 7th competitor, and it's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. He's gonna come in and crossroad someone off of a ladder.
Yeah, Dustin.
There you go. Yeah, that's what's funny. That was something, again, just a random thought upon my head. We're talking about Rumble picks and Adam not paying attention to wrestling as much. He messaged randomly one day, when did Cody Rhodes get a Transformers tattoo on his neck? It's like, he's had it for a while, dude. Like, he had that way before. He had that before AEW, didn't he? He had that in New Japan, didn't he?
No, he got it in like the first year.
Yeah. I'm not saying it was a great decision. It was not, but I just thought it was funny. Just a random thought that popped in my head. But yeah, it's a lot going on. Got a big couple of weeks because we got Elimination Chamber coming up
next week.
Yeah, that's next week. Next weekend. Revolution is March, right?
Yeah, March.
Is 6th. Is that a pay-per-view or is that just a Wednesday show?
No, that's a pay-per-view.
That is a pay-per-view, okay. Because they are still calling theirs pay-per-views. I noticed last night they are still calling theirs pay-per-views.
Yes.
They are not premium live events. They are pay-per-views.
Yeah, they are pay-per-views. March 6th, that is a Sunday. Elimination is coming from Jeddah. So for us, the start time is, I think, 11 a.m.
Yeah, probably not watching that live.
Damn.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that they were doing. I knew that it was a Saudi show, and I completely forgot and never paid attention. Like thought about it being at a different time. So it's gonna be 11 a.m. Saturday morning for us.
Yes.
I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, it's better than it could be, but that's still horrible timing.
Well, to be honest, I really thought they were going to do it on a Thursday, like all the other times.
Yes, that is even worse.
Always watching at work.
So at least
So
it is on a
better.
weekend. This is better. WWE, good job. This is better on an actual weekend. So maybe I'll tune in. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Um.
So next week we do picks for that show.
Yes, next week we will do picks. We will talk amongst ourselves, production meeting, and decide if we're going to do just straight up picks for the matches, or if we're going to do another pro wrestling scorecard, which it's on a Saturday. Oh yeah, this is on a Saturday, so they should release the card on a Thursday. So, I mean, it gets real hard for when the premium live events and or pay-per-views are on Sundays, then they release them later. So yeah, a lot going on. Hopefully we get more Jay White. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
Hey,
Dustin?
what was that Will Ospreay stuff you're talking about?
Oh, we can talk about that offline.
Oh, that's okay. So what?
Secret information.
Yeah, Will Ospreay's going to be at AJ's house when we go to Chicago in September. So we're just gonna hang out and have dinner with Will Ospreay. All right. Well, I had an idea for a little game, but I didn't actually do anything with it because I felt like crap when I clocked out for work. We'll save that for a later thing. Also, mentioning right here at the end of the show, because that's the best time to mention it when people stop watching. We are now official on TikTok as a group page. I got to get the login to the guys. I'm going to try to, whenever I see cool wrestling stuff, either in my feed or something, try to bounce it over to that page. And I guess that's what because I want to get us more active on things to get more stuff out there. So basically what my thought process is with it is that all of us will have individual access to the TikTok, so we can do, hey, if Dustin's on TikTok and he sees this, hey, react to this thing or do this thing, he can just do a TikTok from his phone. That's Dustin's opinion on the Raw Dogs account. I could do the same thing. AJ could do the same thing. I don't know how if AJ uses TikTok. Joey could do the same thing. That's my
he's friends with Alexa Bliss.
Yes, Joey is friends with Alexa Bliss on TikTok. He's going to be our main TikTok contributor. He doesn't know that, so this isn't even going out live, so he doesn't even know this conversation's happening. So that's the plan. I'm going to try to put the link to the TikTok below with the rest of the socials. It's already on our link tree with all of our other socials and stuff. Just trying to find ways to pump out more content. We're looking at WWE 2K22 to possibly also be some more content. If you guys have any ideas for extra content you want to see, some kind of special shows you want us to do, I know we've thrown out a bunch of ideas, things we need to do. We just need to actually figure out something to do and do it. So, like I said, we're going to try to figure out some more content for you guys. Hopefully some stuff to get the name out there and figure out what's going on. Maybe get Dustin some more stickers to hand out.
Or not hand out.
Or not hand out.
Damn.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for us.
I realized that. God.
That was the funniest. Okay, back in side because that was the thing is I think you sent a picture of the Rumble or something. I was like, oh, dude, you got those stickers? And it was just quiet, and you're like, nah, man. I was like, they was in a hurry, forgot I went to the hotel, and I was like, the amount of shit that I would literally, because it's not only that he messaged me to ask me for these stickers, that he took the time to message my wife and said, hey, Blake's afraid to ask you to use your stickers. Can he use your stickers? Like, I didn't ask my wife. Dustin did. He asked my wife if I could use her stickers.
I asked the head of the table.
And he still forgot them. And
Yeah, I still forget.
and then the whole time they were like, "Oh no, we're just gonna roast you in here. This is just for us." And I literally messaged Joey, I think right after, and I don't remember if I told AJ, but I was like, "That's the first." This was back still when the Rumble show, when we were gonna do the show after the Rumble. I was like, "That's the first thing I'm bringing up on the show. That is number one thing that I'm bringing up on the show. Just I'm gonna tell Dustin that it's only for us. It's only gonna happen in the chat, and it's number one thing I'm bringing up." And then, of course, we did picks and had a fucking tie and all this kind of shit. And I was like, well, there's so much fucking going on. So it just
AJ's the real champ.
things got out of hand. On the screen right now, he's the only champ because Joey's ass ain't here. So
Hell yeah.
as of
The
right
real
now,
champ.
AJ is the picks champion. He's sharing it with Joey. I'm gonna go make a thumbnail and post the video, and I'm gonna go watch Legend of Vox Machina. We will see you guys next week for Elimination Chamber picks. Talk about some news. Hopefully some more cool shit happens. Hopefully not more awful shit. Hopefully Roman Reigns doesn't die at the hand of Goldberg. Hopefully Ronda doesn't kill Charlotte, but I mean that one's more debatable. I'm a bad person. Okay. Yeah, that's it for us. We'll talk to you guys next week. Out later, guys.
All right, see you guys.